It's your girl Kizzy, aka Enlightened Intuitive, back with you here for another video. In today's video, I want to share a bit about the collective energy right now and what is currently happening as a collective within our communities. And so, what's happening right now is really there's like a death and rebirth taking place within the collective as a whole, right? A lot of things in our lives right now are really being moved around and transformed for the better. Even though at first it may feel like everything is actually getting worse, because it is, right? But in it getting worse, it is actually getting better, right? We are becoming more aligned with the people, scenarios, situations, thoughts, habits, behaviors, actions that are actually part of who we want to be and who we want to become and who we are becoming versus who we've always been, right? And right now, you really notice you're being challenged to up your mental, right? You're being challenged to transform your life and allow your life to change right before your eyes. We put so much stress on ourselves for our lives to be perfect, to look a certain way. And right now, you'll find that even when you try to make it look a certain way, it's actually just not that way in reality, right? There's actually a lot of things that are changing and progressing differently than you thought that they would at this time in your life right now, right? You'll notice that your shadow's coming up a lot. You'll notice that, you're grieving a lot of your past. You'll notice that some things are coming up that you thought were done, that were over. And I feel like that's been a consistent message of my collective energy updates, because that is just what's happening. It's a consistent cyclical process of, revisiting, deleting, refreshing, reframing, unlearning, relearning, unlearning, relearning, right? And so that does require us to look at certain things and be met with certain memories and thoughts and behaviors that are not working for us anymore. You also find that things that used to work for you are no longer working for you. And that's because God, Spirit, the universe is asking you to transmute and transform that into something new that is better and more fit for the person that you are today, the person that you are becoming, the person that you want to be. A lot of fear is also coming up within the collective. A lot of fear and a lot of grief, right? A lot of fear and a lot of grief, especially, within the world as a whole, right? There is a lot of um, death, right? Literally and figuratively taking place. And it is going to give rise to this new world, right? The world at large, but also our new worlds separately as individuals, but also communities as locals, as collectives, right? And so, really, at this time, there's just a lot of transformation and a lot of progress being made, whether you can see it or not. Things are happening for you, not to you. Things are happening for you. It's important at this time to lean into that and to not give your faith and your fear into, oh, everything's going against me, nothing's working. No, right? It's happening for you, but it's all about how you choose to see it and how you choose to interact with it. And if you choose to become a victim or a victor of the circumstance, no matter what, it does not matter what the external looks like. It is about the internal and what you choose to see with your eyes, whether or not that is what is actually there, right? Rely on faith, not sight, right? And it's time to align with your choices, right? Align with who you really want to be. Again, I'm just hearing like align, align, align. So right now we're really getting aligned with where we are meant to be. And sometimes that doesn't always feel good because we have to get uncomfortable, right? We have to be stretched into these new versions of ourselves. We have to be pushed into these new versions of ourselves. And so we may be facing situations that are triggering, right, or harder than others, or are difficult, or are tempting, right? And it's all meant to teach us in some way and how. And if you can go through these experiences and say, what am I learning right now? What am I needing to take away from this? What am I needing to learn from this? What am I needing to extract from this? What is this possibly teaching me, right? At this time, you also maybe notice that you're meeting people who are reminding you of past people, right? And this is not to taunt you. This is not to say that's the only person that you can attract, but it is to say, why does this keep happening, right? Question that and question, okay, so what do you need to do from here, right? What is this trying to teach you? How to have boundaries, how to know your worth, how to know your value, how to speak up for yourself, how to cut people off, right? How to value yourself, right? See yourself, align with yourself. right? What is the situations that you are finding yourself in teaching you? And if you can see the lesson in everything, you can also see the blessing, right? Lesson and blessing, lesson and blessing. Keep that in mind. But yeah, at this time, there's definitely just a lot of transformation taking place. And, a lot of the world at large is changing, as well as us collectively within our own individual lives. And what you'll find now is you're sort of stepping into another era of your power, right? At least for me, I know that I'm experiencing another spiritual awakening, which means I am up leveling again in consciousness, which means everything that is not aligned with that has to go, right? Has to be transformed, has to be transmuted, right? Has to be rewritten in a way that is for me instead of against me, right? So at this time, it's really about that too, like reframing the narratives in your mind, rewriting the story, rewriting the betrayals, rewriting the pain, rewriting the hurt, also forgiving, right? Leaning into forgiveness and understanding that that person did not hurt you because you are the person that needs to be hurt. They did not love you in the way that you need to be loved because you are not worthy of love. No, they did not do that because they don't know how to. They did not do that because the person before them and the person before them and the person, that's all they knew, right? They did not do that because you are the bad thing. They did that because they're insecure within themselves. They did that because they did not know how to interact with you and not project onto you. They did that because they're not happy with themselves, right? They did that because they were confused with themselves. And so really it's just a projecting outward. And so really don't focus so much on they did this to me, right? Blame. Focus more on what can I do? What can I take accountability for? What can I change about this? What can I learn? What can I rewrite, right? Return back to you, as I say all the time. It's all about returning back to you. A lot of the collective right now is also going through upgrades. And what I mean by that is ascension symptoms. What I also mean by that is we are ascending in consciousness. We are ascending in thought process. We are up leveling within our lives, which means you cannot, your old life, and this is a confirmation that I've gotten, your old life is going to cost your new one. And so I know at this point in my life, I'm really having to really step into another level of authenticity for myself, right? Who I really am, not this who I am, because, I feel like there's a spectrum, right, of authenticity. And it's like each time you upgrade, each time you have an awakening, you are upgrading to another level of yourself. And it's not that the other levels were fake and they weren't you. No, they're just other versions of you, right? So as you continue to up level, as you continue to upgrade, thank you, Spirit, you are going to find that you are stepping into a different, more authentic version of yourself, right? You're becoming to see the different masks that you have, and the different masks that you put on, the different masks that you can hide behind, right? And you're really seeing how you can step out of that and just show the world who you really are, right? What you're really interested in, what you really believe, what you really think, how you really feel, how deeply you feel, right? The struggles that you actually really do have. And I feel like that's happening for me too, because I feel like I'm somebody who's like the strong friend, and I'm somebody who's always just like, I have to have it all together and I am perfect, even though I know I'm not perfect. Obviously, no one is, right? But there's this perfectionism that we're all sort of trained into. And so I'm really having to step out of that and say, you know what, no, I'm not perfect, right? So I'm still working on this. I don't know this. I have to figure out this. Right? You're going to recognize that you're really just being confronted with the reality of things, and you're really seeing like, okay, this is where I'm at. I want to be here, but this is where I'm at, right? And it's about acknowledging that and not saying, oh, that's bad to be there, right? Acknowledging that you're there, but also that improvements can still always be made, but that's okay, right? Take it day by day. At this time, it's also important to pay attention to your dreams, right? If you're having dreams, be sure to remember, important things that come up. If you see somebody, if somebody says something to you, pay attention to the themes of your dreams right now, and also pay attention to how you're feeling when you wake up from them, right? Pay attention also to how you're feeling around people at this time and how they are making you feel when you leave them, right? Do you feel better? Do you feel worse? Do you feel clarity? Do you feel lack? Do you feel confused, right? All these things matter. And at this time, especially because we're closing out the year, it's really important to just gather your mind and really figure out, okay, what's from here, right? Not let's set New Year's resolution, New Year, new me. No. I heard somebody say today, and I agree with him. He said, no, new day, new me. Like, it's not about a new year, right? The new year is going to come, but it's closing out, and it really is saying, okay, what do you really want to bring with you, right? How do you really want to step into this new year? How do you really want to go about this? Because it's new year, new you, but at the same time, it's like you could be a new you every day. It really ain't just a new year. Amen. So that is my collective energy update. Please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe if that did resonate with you, and definitely check me out. Check out my other videos as well, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.